One of the major questions I get asked the most is the fact that I pick up a book to read Trades and still I'm not able to get to the end of the book. I'm not even able to glean as many ideas as possible. I'm not able to commit the thoughts to memory. I read in the next 5 to 10 minutes or even an hour later, I cannot remember what I have read. It's a challenge that happens to even the best intentions. Yes, you've made the decision that I want to read, I must read. It happens to almost everybody. Welcome to my channel. If today is your first time stopping by, I want to celebrate you. In this very video, I want to talk to you about how to set your expectation, okay, before reading a book or even during reading a book. Setting your expectation is very important. It should be an intentional process. In fact, it is the very first level of reading. In my book, Becoming a Consistent Reader, I spoke about the 5 stages of reading in that book, and of which the very first step is what I'm about to talk to you about right now. It is the stage of preview or survey. Alright, in my last YouTube video, I spoke about the SQ3R model. The S there stands for survey, Q is for question, the 3 arrow is for read, recall, and review. These are the stages in terms of really understanding how to engage your survey or your preview. Preview is a purposeful thing. It is important. Like the saying goes that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is unavoidable. When you do not know the purpose at which you have picked up a book to read, no matter the kind of book you're reading pattern, alright, you're going to get to a level and you'll be tired. You will not be able to continue with your reading. Your ability to pick up a book, stay committed and consistent, go from one level to another level, requires a lot of intentionality. Have you ever been in a class, friends, where the coach or the mentor or the lecturer or the pastor says, set your expectation? In fact, there's even a portion of the Bible that says that the expectation of the righteous will not be cut short. The expectation of a man that has a growth mindset will not be disappointed. So if you also set your expectation as someone who have the mindset, the belief system that I will read this book, I'll read this article, I'll make this research, and I'm going to be able to get better, it's going to be so profound. So like I said already, that setting your expectation is a purposeful thing. It is an intentional process that when you do it adequately and consistently, you practice it over and over again, you are going to get better. So in this very video, I want to share with you about 7 different stages, alright, that you have to go through. The 7 steps methodology to setting your expectation as a reader. Let's get right into it. The first one is that you have to read the title. Mind you, when it comes to setting your expectation, alright, as a reader, like I said, it is a survey or a preview method of reading, what you do before reading. When it comes to setting your expectation, you have to understand that your expectation, the steps that you follow to set it, can be 2, can be 10, can be 5, can even be 7, like I'll be atomizing for you. But one thing you have to understand is that whatever it is you want to achieve from that content that you're interacting with should be the deciding factor. Alright? Should be the deciding factor. If you are reading an academic book, or you are reading a self-help book, or you're reading a novel, your steps can differ in these different levels. It can differ. Alright, the first thing you have to do is, in your preview, you must read the title. I'd like you to write that somewhere. You must read the title of the book. A lot of people don't do this. They pick up a book and 5 days later, you're asking them, oh, you told me you were reading. What's the title of the book you're reading? Oh my God, they try to remember and it's not forthcoming. And you often wonder, if you cannot remember the title of the book you have just read, how then can you convince us they've actually read that book? Do you understand? How then can you convince us that you have actually just engaged on a journey with someone you haven't met before, obviously? Alright, so read the title of the book again and again and again, which is really very profound. Alright, what is the title saying? What is the content of the book suggesting to your heart right now? Looking at the title of that content, what is it suggesting to your heart? Because a huge part of reading, why I love reading so much, is because it requires your active participation. You cannot be a reader, you cannot call yourself a reader without actively participating in the content that you're interacting with. Your ability to interact with the content is really going to turn things around. It's going to be a game changer. You must be able to what? First of all, read the title. The next thing you do is you read the introductory material. There are several introductory material in the book. Maybe the stories, the anecdote, the table of content, right? You check out all of these things. It's possible you can also go to the back of the book. You can check out about the authors. You can check out several things. All right, that is what it means to what? To read all introductory materials. It's really very important. Read all introductory materials. The next thing you have to do is to what? Use your title and introduction to form questions. This one is really very important. You look at the survey now. The survey methodology is also including Q there. Alright, which is question for SQ3R. Ask questions, relevant questions. Okay, how do you do this? Use the title or chapters to introduce or to ask yourself some formidable questions by the author. Alright, let's say the title of the book is I Am Coming. Your question could not be why are you coming? Where are you going? Why did you decide to come? These are just ways you can ask questions that can enhance the overall process of your engagement. Okay, ask questions, use the titles, use the chapters, use them to ask questions to position your heart for what is necessary. The next thing is that you have to read the headings and opening sentences of each of the chapters. The headings, every chapter has a heading. You have to read it adequately so that you can be able to, get yourself into the zone of what you're reading. The next thing you do is that you look closely at visual aids. Alright, you look closely at visual aids. There are some books, so you are reading your articles you're reading, they have a lot of visual aids. One of such books that I read is Blue Ocean Strategy and Blue Ocean Shift by W. Shakin and Renee Mabon. Such a profound book. The Blue Ocean Strategy is such a great book. It has a lot of visuals. So read the visuals, go through it, study them. Alright, especially if you're a visual learner. Alright, I'm not too much of a visual learner. If you're a visual learner, it can really help you. The next thing is that you should also pay attention to italicized words. Okay, most often there are books that have italicized words at the margins. Pay attention to them. Alright, and then the last thing you have to do is to read end of chapter summaries and questions. I love this aspect a lot. I wrote a book, Effective Reading Habit, my very first book, and at the end of each chapter there are checklists. Alright, there are checklists at the end of each of the chapters. Checklists to help you, integrate some of the key lessons, ask yourself questions, and also go back to the process, regurgitate them, marinate on them so that you can get the best result possible. This is the survey technique, and it is important. If you really want to integrate your reading, your learnings on a deeper level, you want to be able to flow, take your transformation to the next level, you've got to learn how to survey, right? Survey is also known as preview. It is what you do before reading. It is the pre-reading technique that allows you to be able to set your expectation, set your purpose aright so that you can finally read a book and get to the end of the book, glean as many ideas and experiences as possible, create roadmaps for your execution. Yes, this is it, friends. Once again, my name is Michael. If you have not subscribed to my channel, this is the right time to do that. Next time, ensure that when you want to read a book, set your expectation through the survey technique so that you are able to remember what you have read, so that you're able to commit it to memory on a deeper level. Do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now.